Joining us on today's Community Connection, I'm Jason Laird, joined by Steve Lynch with Community Clergy Training Wounds of War, and kind of talk a little bit about what this is all about, what the goal behind this organization is, and what folks can expect.
Well, thank you for having me on board this morning. We are Joining Community Forces is a local veterans resource group, kind of a community coalition of service providers who get together and we talk about resources for veterans in the community and how we can better serve with the resources we have.
Sure.
We are partnering with the Montana VA Healthcare Chaplain's Office and the University of Providence to host an event called the Community Clergy Training Wounds of War. And it is an event designed at providing civilian clergy within the community, civilian behavioral health specialists and practitioners with the experiences that, from a veteran's perspective, that they might not have.
Sure.
If a veteran comes to them with those wounds of war type things or spiritual disagreements with, you know, I served in combat and I can't reconcile my experience with my spiritual beliefs. And that's a bit of a conflict. So to help our civilian clergy understand where they're coming from, the Montana VA Healthcare has come up with this training. They understand that most folks won't come to them.
Sure.
So the effort to reach out to that core of civilian help is very important.
Right, and I mean, how important, you know, is it to have an outlet like this? I mean, you know, coming out of combat, coming out of, you know, service, sometimes it's kind of difficult to find those different ways to reach out and find those different avenues. So how important is it to have things like this?
It's extremely important because a lot of veterans will not seek out the VA healthcare system, nor will they seek out we have active veterans as well that are still serving. They may not seek out their in-house chaplain corps as well. I mean, there's so many that live within the community that are going to be in the faith community outside of the fence and outside of the scope of the VA. And it's the same with the behavioral health as well. 25% of veterans will not seek any help with the Montana or with the VA mental health side. They would rather go to their civilian clergy.
Right. That makes sense. And it's kind of cool. I mean, the fact that you guys have been able to kind of put this team of folks together. So really, it's not just one outlet. There's various outlets for, you know, veterans to get involved, it sounds like.
Absolutely. And this really has this is a large player in the suicide prevention piece as well. And as we know, Montana having the suicide rate that we do, and understanding two of every 10 people over 18 in Montana are veterans. Our suicide rate is the highest in the nation. The suicide rate of veterans over non-veterans is 2 to 1. So it's a big piece, and this is a big player, which is why we're bringing in clergy and practitioners as well. We're offering civilian education or continuing education credits for those practitioners who need them, and we're also reaching out to lay ministers in the community that may not have reached this word to try to get them out tomorrow morning.
Sure. And what's the best way for folks to get a little bit more information about the event?
Certainly tonight really is, the event is tomorrow, so we're really on the eve. If they would like to come, they can certainly walk in and register on site. It is 9 a.m. in the morning until 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
Fantastic.
And you can look up on the community clergy training on the VA website. It has a lot of information as well.